sung, not spoken.
Happy birthday to you.
This had to be a dream, right? A nightmare. She swung her head around and saw him, a big bull of a man at some kind of workbench, bare-ass naked, except for a black bib apron. Hairy arms, a hairy butt and legs. The back of his thick neck glowed dimly from one of those battery-powered dome lights used in attics, closets, and basements that didn't have power or sunlight. Just beyond the bench, a clock ticked loudly on the wall. From the dank smell, she suspected she was underground, that this man who looked like an NFL lineman had captured her, though she couldn't remember her abduction. She tried to move, but her restraints held her fast to some kind of ring cemented into the floor. Blinking again, her mind clearing from the shot of adrenaline suddenly singing through her blood, she focused on one of the walls. Again, cement, with dark stains running down it. Water, she hoped, mixed with rust. Please don't let it be blood. She wanted to scream, but bit any sound back. Instinctively, she knew it would be best to let him think she was still passed out, still stuck in a fetal position as he worked. Jesus God, what was he doing? Cutting lengths of red ribbon, measuring them over and over again, and then snipping them. The sound of his god-awful singing and something else, some other noise, caused her skin to crawl. Mewling. The soft, frightened cries were slightly muffled, as if whatever was issuing them was trying to hold back the sobs. An animal? No. Some other person. So Zoe wasn't alone. He'd captured another prisoner. Her heart dissolved. Chloe. Her twin sister. In a flash, Zoe recognized Chloe's voice. The choked sob she'd heard as a child whenever Chloe was scared or being punished or whatever. Chloe had always been the weaker of the two Denning girls, the more sensitive. It had been Chloe who had held funerals for their pets, or run upstairs, footsteps banging on the wooden steps when their parents fought. Chloe had stayed on her knees for hours, eyes shut, hands folded, as she'd prayed that the discord in the family would be quieted by the Holy Father, and that their ever-quarreling parents would stay married. You should try it sometime, she'd told her minutes older sibling. A little prayer can solve a big problem. Or not. Mom and Dad had gotten divorced, and Mom was still not over it. Zoe only hoped that Chloe was praying now, that her presumed connection to the Lord God Almighty would garner them both some quick salvation, because as her mind cleared, Zoe realized the situation was more dire than she'd wanted to believe. No college prank. No mistake. Somehow, someway, this huge sicko had been able to subdue and abduct them both. How? For a second, she thought she remembered it happening. In a kaleidoscope of jagged images, she recalled fragments of her abduction. A voice behind her, whispering her name over the din of the crowd.
It's your sister,
he'd said, his words cutting through the noise of pedestrians.
She's hurt.
What? Zoe had turned toward him, then searched the crowd. Where the hell was Chloe? Her twin had been right beside her, hadn't she? Then she'd felt a sharp prickle of pain, like a wasp's sting at first, then more intense as a needle had been plunged into her neck. In a quicksilver second she'd panicked, searched the faces of people teeming on the street, hoping to see Chloe, or a cop, or anyone who might think she was more than someone who'd had too much to drink. She'd stumbled and started to fall, and tried to scream, but only a whimper had left her lips. On her way down, someone had caught her. The lights of New Orleans swirling, the cacophony on the street fading. She'd heard "Happy Birthday" whispered into her ear before she'd passed out. Sweet Jesus, it had been this freak who had captured Chloe and her, and somehow brought them here, wherever it was. Chloe's sobs were louder now. He quit singing, glanced pointedly at the clock.
Shut the fuck up,
he said, his voice gravelly as he shouted away from Zoe, toward the opposite corner of the darkened room.